Hi, everybody. This is Jill for today. Thank you for coming into my kitchen. We're off to Lebanon today. Yes, we are part of that around the world in 80 breads. This is called Za'atar Manakeesh, and I know I'm butchering it. We've looked up the pronunciation of Za'atar. It's Z. I'll show the spice to you. It's this. And it's kind of difficult to find in the grocery store. As you can see, this came from Penzies that I'll suspect if you, excuse me, went online, you could find it elsewhere. It's kind of an unusual spice. So there's another way of pronouncing this, and this is where you take that za'atar. And anyway, it's a Middle Eastern spice that works into the Lebanese cuisine. So that's what we're going to use. But to begin with, it's flat bread, kind of like a pizza, if you will. And it's a nice dough. We're going to let that rise. And then we'll make up the za'atar mix. This with olive oil. And you'll see all about it. So here we go. I've got a bowl here. Now, I'm going to cheat. It talks about using a bowl and a spoon. And you can do that. That's really, really authentic. But I'm getting too lazy in my old life. So got a bowl here. I'm putting in some nice warm water. It's not hot. It's just a good warm water. And then I'm putting in a tablespoon of yeast. And I will have all the ingredients and the instructions in that box down below the video. There's a little thing that says more. And if you hit more, that's going to come up. It'll drop down. And I need 1 teaspoon of sugar here. This is just going to really activate this yeast. There are lots and lots of recipes out there for this bread, and all of them are the same. There was only one I saw that was different, that added powdered milk as well as buttermilk. And all the other ones, of course, I don't know which one is the most authentic. We had seen this recipe on the Tony Shalhoub show. Is called Breaking Bread. And the director was supposed to bring the camera up so I could talk to you. And he had slipped. You're the director. You're supposed to be doing his job. Anyway, Tony Shalhoub has a PBS series right now called Breaking Bread. And he's going all over the world eating bread, guy. And in fact, the director, every time the show comes on, he's very envious of Tony Shalhoub. But this was one of the breads he had as a child, and this is where he went to Lebanon. So that's where we said, oh gosh, I've got to make this recipe. Okay, so I've got this all mixed up. Now we can go back to the bowl, and I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes and let that yeast wake up, and it'll start to froth and all of that good stuff. And once that happens, we'll go on to the next step. We're back, and this took about 10 minutes. So I want to show this to you. See, look at that. See, that is alive. See how fluffy that is in there? That shows you that that yeast is all alert, it's awake, and it's ready to go. So now I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Little extra virgin olive oil, a couple of those. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to mix that up. I'm going to bring in my dough hook. And we're just going to, if I get, there we go. Just get it mixed up a little bit here. Just enough to kind of get the yeast and all that together. Okay, I think that's going to be just fine. I'm going to bring this down, and now I'm going to add some flour. This is, I use unbleached, but it's all, all-purpose flour. This is about 3 cups of flour. Get that all out of there. Okay, we got that. And then I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to start kneading it. And we'll want to get it to where it's a nice smooth ball. And then I'll bring it out, and we'll do a little weaving on the counter. So I'm just going to let this work a bit. And once we're ready to take it out of the bowl and do a little hand kneading, we'll come back. We're back, and this took about 8 or 9 minutes in my mixer with the kneading hook. I think if you were to do it by hand, maybe 10 minutes or so. And I'm going to put just a little bit of flour here on my board so it doesn't stick. Again, Jean Lemond, this beautiful shaker. You can find it in my Amazon store. So I'm going to just, oh yeah, this is nice. Oh my goodness. It's soft. Yeah, it's soft and it's not sticky. And I didn't add any additional flour. It's nice and springy. Wow, really nice. So that didn't need much, really. Just a little bit to give it a little personal love, right? So I'm going to roll this up in a ball. And then I'm going to bring a bowl in for the raising of it. It's really cold here today, and I happen to have a proofing function on my oven, and I'm going to use that. Now, if you don't have a proofing function, find a warmer place in your home. If you have an oven that has a light, you could use the light. Don't turn the oven on, but you can use the light, and that will generate enough warmth, you know, for you to do the raising of the bread. I'm going to put a little olive oil in here. That all worked around. I'm going to put the dough in, give it a little spin, bring it up on top so it's all nice and oily. So this is what's going to go. I'm going to get some plastic wrap on it. I'm going to put it into the proofing oven. And as I said, if you found some place that's really warm that you know of, or a light bulb in your oven. This is going to take about 2 hours. It's going to rise double. And then once this is ready to roll out and go to the next step, we'll get started on actually making this. Can't wait. So the bread dough is doubled. How doubled? How beautiful this is. It was about 2 hours. I'm going to open this up here so you can see it. There we go. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I'm going to set this aside right now because we're going to mix up the za'atar. I will tell you what's in this. It's got sumac, which I know is kind of a tart flavor, thyme, white sesame seeds, and salt. That's it. So I think the sumac, as I said, I think it's kind of maybe even more of a sour flavor. And we're going to add some olive oil to this, and we're going to make like a kind of a paste. At least that's what it looked like to me. So we're going to get this stirred in. And I'm going to set it aside. Maybe it'll give a few minutes to kind of, you know, soak up some of that olive oil. But that's a nice spreadable. Let's see if it smells any different. I don't smell any difference. I smell olive oil is what I smell. Okay, let's set this aside. Now, it says you're supposed to pat it out with your hands. And you know how far that's going to go. What I am going to do, I'm going to punch it down. I always hate to do that. Deflate it. It's always so beautiful. We're going to get that out of there. And then when we saw it on Tony Shalhoub's show, they were making pretty large ones, I think. And this recipe and other ones I saw talked about doing it into a large one or doing it into like almost individual servings. So I think I'm going to split the difference. And I'm going to do a half of the dough as a single, and then whatever's left, do little ones. So I'm going to cut this in half because this is what I'm going to use for the half size. And I don't know. I'm not very good at patting. Excuse me, patting, because it's supposed to get to a quarter of an inch. We're going to pat it down to a quarter of an inch. Excuse me. And of course, when you have bread dough like this, it's got a lot of gluten in it, and it's fighting you all the way to the bank. Although that's not too bad. It's still not a quarter of an inch. It's not that beautiful round that, it's earthy. It's rustic. Let me see what I've got here. Of course, it'll spring back. I'll tell you, I bought this gauge just for the kitchen. It's a sewing gauge, but you can get so much. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's a quarter of an inch. I actually got it a little thinner than a quarter of an inch. That kind of surprised me. Okay, but I'm not going to do anything with that because it will spring. It will spring back. Okay. Now, I've seen two different versions of this. One is like focaccia, where you kind of dimple the dough. I think that's what I'm going to do. But first, I'm going to get my pan out here because I don't want to have to mess with this after the fact. I'm going to put it on here, spread it out a little bit, right? And then do the little dippling. And now we are going to just spread some of this on. Wow. You know what they called it on the show? They called it dirty bread. I thought it was kind of funny. And I don't know how much to put on. I don't want to put too much on. Okay, I'm going to get right out to the edge. It really did look like a pizza kind of thing. So I'm going to kind of do what I saw on the show he did. Okay, I think we're going to maybe get a little more out there. Because it is it's eaten by the hand, not with a fork. All right, that's it. That's all I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to spread it out. Now I have my oven heated at 450 degrees. So that's a pretty good hot oven. And I'm going to, it'll take about, I think it said about 12 minutes. Let me double check here. Yeah, about 10 to 12 minutes. And because it's not, you don't realize this is not being given a second rise. It's going in the oven just like this. So once it comes out and it's cool enough, well, I'll show it to you. And then it's cool enough, we will take a sample of it. And there's a lot of suggestions on what you can serve with it, you know, as an accompaniment. And it talked about feta cheese, which we adore. And I happen to have feta cheese. So we'll probably put a little of that on there. Anyway, once these are baked up and ready to eat, we'll come back. Lights. Oh my gosh, we almost forgot to turn the lights on. The lights are on. Okay. He says, cut that out. That's an outtake or a blooper or whatever. I said, no, leave it in. Okay, enough of that. Here it is. I got this one here, and I got 4 smaller ones. You know, I hope I haven't ruined your people's food. I try so much to have fun doing this, and we learn new foods and new breads and countries and, you know, all that good stuff. Anyway, we're going to try this. It's a finger bread. I mean, I don't, you know, you kind of fold it and you eat it. So what I'm going to do is, you want me to cut yours? Should we cut it in half?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll cut it in half, and we'll try it that way. Now, would you like some feta cheese?
Of course. I'd like to see the inside.
Inside. That I can't see from here, but it has a look.
Looks good. Take a look.
Oh, it does look nice. The large one, really, really puffed up. Okay, so we're going to try this new model of feta cheese.
Sure, why not?
I don't know.
Oh, I'd like to taste it just straight first.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Thank you.
I will do the same. Well, surprisingly, that's got a lot of flavor.
Salty?
Yeah, it has salt in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's good.
But are we missing something here?
What a little feta cheese.
Yeah. The bread is excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's great dough.
But as far as the seasoning go, I don't taste sumac. I don't taste anything like that.
Well, not knowing what sumac tastes like,
Well, it's got kind of a sourish flavor to it.
yeah, I could see that.
Here, let's try this.
All right. Thank you.
I'll give it a shot too. As I said, I don't want to ever think I'm botching some people's, you know, traditional foods, and I apologize if I have. You know, to learn, you know, you learn by trying. Well, I love feta cheese.
It's very good. The dough is amazing.
Dough is really good.
And the za'atar is good, but maybe it's just too delicate a flavor for me. I don't know.
I don't either. I thought it was going to be almost, I was afraid as I was putting it on, I said, oh, there's an awful lot of that on there. And I was afraid it was just going to hit us in the face. But the bread is great.
The za'atar is good.
It is good. I mean, it's got some lovely flavor to it. I was up here, I'm perfectly honest with you, I was afraid we were going to say, oh, this is just horrible.
It's not.
It's not. Not at all. It's very good. I'll take one more bite here.
Can't be that bad. I'm still eating it.
I'd make an awesome pizza dough. Yeah, it's very good. What do you say?
I like it. I'd have it again.
You're gonna, because you're gonna have it again, Buster. You can freeze this. In the instruction hour, it says it keeps up to 5 to 7 days. I don't know about that part of it, but I think it's what?
When's the last time any bread lasted 5 to 7 days with me around?
This man is a bread man. I told you when we started this, it was his idea to start the series. I said, I got to do it. So, okay. It's a go. It's a go. And I will also add that there are a lot of different, and I read this about Za'atar, a lot of different blends that you can get. Penzies is excellent. So I wouldn't say that they just did not put out a good Za'atar, but there are a lot of different ones that maybe you have a Lebanese market in your area. Go in there. They're going to have it, and they might recommend one that might have, whatever. All right. That's Lebanon. We're moving on. Germany. No, not Germany. It was Switzerland. Who was it that did cinnamon rolls? What did we read? Sweden, Switzerland. Somebody
I don't
got to
know.
do cinnamon rolls. I think we'll do cinnamon rolls next time. I can't remember what country they kind of originated from, but we'll find that out. Tell your friends about this. Subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up because the algorithms love thumbs up. And I will see you next time.